Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime 3. In the last episode, we landed here on the GFS Olympus, made our way to the command bridge, and scanned a few things. We didn't really do too much in the way of major plot events, but that is what we're going to be doing in this episode. You know, it's finally time for the Inciting Incident Festival. So we'll make our way to the briefing room, and so actually another thing to point out that's different from this game and the previous Prime games is that the entire menu is all in one thing now. So the logbook and the map are not separate menus like they were in previous games. The 2 button doesn't, you know, do anything for now. But we finally completed our objective. We're doing something! But wait a second. But that's not us. So we have a few other bounty hunters here. One we've already seen, who's Gore.
Before I begin the briefing,
and I'll talk more about the other two in a moment.
242, the flagship's Aurora unit.
An organic supercomputer. Fascinating. It's my understanding that the Galactic Federation's core network is comprised of such units.
That is correct, Core, and we serve as the network's master control. However, currently the network is down.
That seems inefficient.
But necessary. You see, 7 days ago, we discovered that all Aurora units were infected with an unknown virus. We were forced to bring the network down. Fortunately, our scientists were quickly able to devise a vaccine.
Unit 242 was the first AU to receive the vaccine. We were able to completely purge the virus.
Where did this virus come from?
We believe the virus is of space pirate origin. 4 months ago, the GFS Valhalla went missing while on a training mission in the Klar Nebula. The ship's logs revealed that they were attacked by a space pirate raiding vessel.
What is the logic in disrupting a Federation training mission?
They're pirates. How could they resist a prize like that?
That never would have happened if I'd been there.
Then it's a shame you weren't. The pirates boarded the Valhalla and gained access to the ship's Aurora unit, 313. This is how they were able to hack into the network and plant the virus.
Thanks to our security protocols, we were able to shut down the network before the damage from the virus became irreversible.
But we're still vulnerable. If the pirates decide to launch a major offensive, we'd be hard-pressed to defend ourselves. We must rid the other AUs of that virus and bring the network back online. That's where you come in. We need you to deliver the vaccine to each of the AUs in this system. We'd also like you to investigate the pirates' activity in the area. You need to know what they're up to.
Condition red. All personnel to combat-ready stations. Repeat. Condition red.
Sir, a space pirate attack fleet has just warped out of some sort of wormhole. They're also heading for Sector 0, the planet's home base.
No, they're targeting the planetary defense system. Get down to the planet and aid the ground troops. Stop those pirates from disabling the defense system. Go.
Alright, so we had a heavy dose of plot there. There's a lot more story to go around in this game. And we're getting a lot of it up front here. Like, it won't quite be, you know, this story heavy all the time. But, you know, we have three new hunters, 2 of which we know by name now. So there's Gandreda, who can shapeshift, as evidenced by her taking on Samus's appearance. And then there's also the third one is Rundus, who's the icy-looking guy who has kind of a cocky attitude. So we'll definitely be seeing more of them. But for now, there's a space pirate assault, and you know, us being an expert bounty hunter, we can lend our aid.
Samus, get to your ship. We need you down on the planet until we get the fleet in formation.
Okay, so you can scan Admiral Dane. He counts as a character scan. You will be able to get it later, but it's easy to get it now. There is no actual rush in terms of how quickly you get back to your ship, so don't feel like you have to kind of move quickly here, because the game will only move as fast as you do. So this is Fleet Admiral Castor Dane, is known for his utmost dedication to protecting the Federation from its enemies. He is stern and aggressive, and has a strong dislike for the space pirates. Rumor has it they orphaned him at an early age, an act he still seeks to avenge. So these actually are all different now, because last time we scanned them, they weren't active or engaged or anything, and now they are, you know, because of things that happened. You can also see the remnants of that ship kind of drifting apart after it got shot. It's a nice little detail. So now that we have that out of the way, we can't head any farther in this direction, I don't believe. So we can drop by the save point again. So, yeah, the save points are a little bit different in this game, too. They're just kind of stations on the floor. They don't have the stuff above the head, and I did not want to actually step onto that again. So it's going to replenish my energy, even though I did not need it to do that. So I think we just cannot go this way, at least for the time being. So that leaves our only other option as being the way that we came in downstairs. So you can get some credits for protecting Galactic Federation troopers during this section. So if you kill the space pirates here quickly enough, then you will effectively save the GF troopers' lives, and you can get credits for it. So this is a pirate militia expendable infantry unit, lightly armed and armored. The pirates have not enhanced all of their fighting forces. They continue to use militia units in battle. These groups are made up of slaves and criminals, and do not receive the the phase-on enhancements given to regular army troopers. They are surprisingly obedient to the upper castes within the pirate military. Rumor has it that disobedient militia members often find themselves as dinner for regular army troopers. So you can also see the turrets that we scanned. The Halberd class turrets are now active, and they will help you out a little bit, but you know, only so much. It will go faster, obviously, if you shoot the space pirates yourselves. So this was initially blocked off before, but now we can go this way since the door is unstopped. So space pirates here. So I think this is like the first situation where if you save the trooper, then you get a credit for it. So that will get you blue credits, and you can actually talk to the people that you've saved, which is something that you would not be able to do, obviously, if they perish. So that's a cool little thing. You can see this is a space pirate raiding vessel. It's boarding pod. So they're basically designed as kamikaze ships. So pirate boarding pods are crude, even by their standards. They are composed of an aged propulsion drive, a cramped crew transport module, and a nose cone packed with high explosives. The pilot guides the pod towards the target ship, then rams it, detonating the explosives upon impact in an attempt to breach the hull. If a breach is created, the crew within exits the pod. Of course, mishaps occur. Sometimes the explosives go off prematurely, exposing the crew to a vacuum. Other times the detonation fails to occur, leaving the pod to bounce off the target's hull. The shielding between explosives and crew is substandard and often fails to protect the crew from the explosion. The pod's nickname of Space Coffin is well earned. So that's actually quite a lot of information. It is a required scan, so make sure that you get that. We've got some new enemies here. These are crawl tanks. Small mobile weapon platform, lightly armored, well armed. Crawl tanks are mobile, ground-based defense drones, but are easily destroyed by standard weapon fire. They can be equipped with different cannons, including a phase-on beam system. They are not built for sustained combat and are better suited for light patrol and security roles. So you can also save this guy. One way that's actually pretty effective to save the troopers' lives is intercepting the shots of the enemies with your body. So, obviously Samus is a lot more durable, and her armor is a lot better than the Galactic Federation Marines. So, that is one way that you can ensure that they survive.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Get down to your ship. Go!
So, I'm going to destroy these crates now, and not get any health from them because the game doesn't like me. I don't have any other ammo at this point, too, so the game's just kind of being stingy. There we go. A little bit of help. This one is probably one of the hardest ones to get, so there's going to be a ship that crashes in here, and you have to seal the airlock. And you only have a few seconds to do it, and I was just barely too late there. That one is really hard to get. So I believe in order to unlock everything for Prime 3, you need to get all of the credits. So in addition to having to go back and probably get some scans, I'm going to have to go back and save that trooper, because I was not able to this time. So that's very unfortunate. I kind of wish they would give you like a little bit more time for that. You start off a little bit far away from the target that you're trying to shoot. And unless you kind of, take a pot shot from far away, you're probably not going to hit it in time. I think it only requires one shot, though. So, as long as you manage to hit it, then you'll be good. So we've got a short fight here with some space pirates. One of them is a regular militia, and the other two actually have some armor on, so they're going to be a little bit tougher. So the regular militia, I believe, just go down to a single charge shot. Now, you're going to have to defeat all of the pirates here to actually collect this energy cell that they're trying to keep away from you. There's no way to do it. You can see how close I was to picking it up, but was obviously not able to do. So this is an armored pirate militia. Members of the Armored Pirate Militia have been granted lightweight armor suits for combat use. While this provides some additional resistance to beam weapons, they are still vulnerable to explosive attacks. Members of the Armored Pirate Militia are mostly inept soldiers that have yet to die in combat. So, this is not the guy that has the energy cell, but you're going to have to kill all of them anyways, so the order in which you do it is pretty irrelevant. So, gonna jump down and try to snipe his landing, and also jump back up to the top level, and that was actually a pretty good shot. So you don't really have much in the way of firepower at this point. You just have your regular shots and your charge shot. So we will now pick up this energy cell. I don't know how I missed it there. Could have sworn I walked straight over it. And once we place it back in the terminal, we'll be able to get out of here, because all the doors are locked at this point, so there's no way out. So no health from that, but we're not hurting too badly on health at the moment. So again, motion control, so push forward and then twist to the right to insert the energy cell. unfortunately, we're not trapped inside this room. And there are a bunch of enemies that are kind of swarming at us. So you can scan these. These are crawl mines. Mobile explosive drone detonates on contact. So crawl mines are not terribly bright and rely on suicide strikes as their main form of attack. They were designed as to patrol small areas such as ventilation shafts and maintenance tunnels. Though relatively harmless alone, they can be dangerous in large numbers. So there is a credit that you can get for defeating a certain number of these. So we have some crawl tanks, and those are probably a little bit more dangerous than the crawl mines are. So in order to actually advance this sequence, you're going to have to defeat the crawl tanks. But I'm going to try to stick around here for a little while to get that. You could call it an achievement, I suppose. Because once the grates on the floor there are busted open by the crawl mines, you can leave this fight. You know, there's no reason to stick around, and the game, of course, is saying like, "Hey, you're stupid." There you go. So I think it's 100 kills. I'm not sure if there's one that you get for getting more kills than that, but I think that was the one that I was remembering. So I'm just gonna, you know, kill off a few more of them. I do believe that they keep on respawning infinitely until you leave. So once you get the credit or the voucher there. Nope, there's 200 kills. I think you'll get these just by killing regular enemies too, but this is actually just a really efficient way to get it. And of course, you know, as long as you're kind of moving around a little, they only do 1 damage when they hit you, and you can probably avoid getting hit pretty easily most of the time. So you could really do this for as long as you feel like it. And of course the game is... Nope, there's 300 kills. But the vents are glowing, and it's like, hey, get in me, you know. But here I am just ignoring them. I think 300 might be the highest one that you can get. Just, you know, having fun mashing the A button here. Because these guys go down in 1 hit, so... At least they're, you know, pretty easy to kill, so... Oh, and hey, we got even more health, so we can do it for longer. Because I'm sure this is very entertaining. Okay. Oh wait, I got 400. I want to see how far I can take this, because I'm not sure. I thought it was 300, but it might actually be 500. My left thumb is actually starting to get a little tired. I mean, I have hit the A button in sequence over 400 times now. Oh, yep, there's the one for 500. I feel like 500 would be a good place to cap it. I mean, maybe that's just me. Question is, when do I call it quits? Alright, I'll keep going, and if there's not a 600, then I'm just going to safely assume that we've hit all the ones that we need to. Nope, there's a 600. So we're going to keep going. I could probably try to speed this up. I can actually mash the button a little bit faster if I just stand in place, although I seem to get hit a little bit more when I do that. So Now I'm thinking it's probably 1,000 kill is the maximum. Yep, there's 700. But, I mean, even for how long this is taking, though, it's actually going by surprisingly fast. Because think about, like, how many kills that it actually is. Quite a lot. So, what I think I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to cut out until I don't get any more of these. So, I'll probably see you at 900 and then like 1,000. Alright, so that's 1,000. You know, this is riveting. But it's probably the most effective way to get these, get your kill count up. So, if I had to guess, that's probably the last one. This does kind of remind me. It's not nearly as cool, but it does remind me of the Fight of 1,000 Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 2. So I think we're safe to call this here and make our escape. So goodbye. Roll out of here in Morph Ball. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, so you can roll into either event and you just need to go this way. So there's Rundus. Freezing a guy and making him a space pirate sickle. And there is an energy tank kind of here in the ventilation shaft. It is unavoidable. There is literally no way around getting this energy tank. And there's a good reason for the game to kind of force you to get this, which we will see later. Of course, most people will probably not go out of their way to avoid them. The only reason you want to do that is if you're doing a low percent run. So, we're in what looks like a sewage release area. 3PO! Luckily, we don't have to worry about getting crushed like that. So, we have a bomb slot here. I think this is our first bomb slot that we have seen. So, they work just like they do in the other games, although they're pretty finicky in this game. You actually have to be in the slot and then lay a bomb in order for it to activate. It's not like I think the Prime 1 bomb slots, the bomb had to explode while you were in the slot. So you could actually lay it pretty darn early. Prime 2, I think the explosion just had to touch the slot somewhere. So you could lay the bomb outside of the slot as long as the explosion, you know, overlapped with the spot where the slot was located. So luckily for us, though, we're super pro and managed to get back inside the ship after, you know, being ejected out of it. So there's Gandreda. You can see there briefly. But for the moment, we have some things to do before we can get there. So I think this will be a good place to cut out this episode once I deal with these space pirates. So it actually is worth noting that uncharged power beam shots, you can shoot them pretty fast in this game. Basically about as fast as you can mash the button. So yeah, using power beam shots actually not a bad idea in this game sometimes. You can deal quite a bit of damage that way without using charge shots. So I'm going to cut off this episode here. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Metroid Prime 3. I've been redxparasite, signing out.